This video brings together 8 secret unlocking tips from a 20-year-old locksmith. If you always forget to bring your keys when you go out, you will definitely need these keyless emergency unlocking methods. The first method is the iron sheet unlocking method. Find an iron sheet and draw a trapezoid to cut it off completely. Insert the protrusion of the card along the outside of the lock ring to the unlocking side. At this time, rotate the iron sheet and the lock will automatically open. This method will not damage the structure of the lock and can be used again after reinserting the key. The second method is to hold the lock ring with 2 wrenches at the same time and press the wrenches inward. This method can open most pin locks. The third method is to tie an iron sheet to a small motor and insert it into the lock core. The iron sheet will vibrate continuously in the lock core. The pins will be vibrated to the correct position and the lock can be unlocked. The fourth method is to stack multiple magnets and place them on one side of the pin lock key implementation structure. The magnets will absorb and move the internal pins to simulate the key insertion and directly open the pin lock. The fifth method is to collect the flammable materials on the head of the firewood and grind them with an axe. Then introduce them into the lock core. Then insert a fuse lock, ignite it, and burn it to the lock core. As the flammable materials in the lock core explode, the pin lock will be directly blown open. Let's take a look at the sixth method. Use a knife to scrape the side of the pin and use a screw to insert the small hole on the side of the pin to destroy the internal pin mechanism. All the internal parts are poured out. Then just turn it gently to open the pin lock. The seventh method is to find a pin and use pliers to pinch it into a wavy shape. Then bend the tail of another pin into a right angle. Insert the wavy iron wire and keep waving it. After the right-angled pin is inserted, rotate it in the direction of unlocking. When the pin is pushed to the correct position, it can be directly unlocked. The eighth method is to use a thin and long saw blade to insert the pin lock hole and use the saw teeth to simulate the key tooth shape. Pay attention to details. Here you need to move up and down while moving back and forth and turn the saw blade hard. When the pin in the lock returns to the correct position, the lock is opened.
It's getting hard, and no matter how hard we pull, we can't get it out. We have to return this key to straight first, and only then can we pull it out. If you can't return it to its original position, it won't come out no matter what. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. Imagine getting back to the city and the key stuck just won't come out, even if the door opens. This happens occasionally. You insert the key, the door opens, but you can't pull the key out. So what do you do in this situation? It's quite simple. If the key is stuck inside the lock and won't budge, just grab a pencil to help. A quick and easy solution. First, we need to handle the lock itself. Start by finding a screwdriver and checking for any worn parts. If there are screws, like here, there are usually 2 at the bottom and 2 on top. Let's remove them first. I've checked and now everything looks good. The mechanism is aligned again. Now take the pencil. See this? Check it and focus on the center of gravity of the pencil. It hasn't come back yet. It's still hanging onto the key. Now drag the pencil across the lock mechanism. It helps us slick. When we were kids, our parents used this method to pick locks and remove keys. What happens next? The cylinder becomes more slick. Now that the pencil's lead is in the lock, we move it a little bit more. Keep moving it around and eventually the cylinder will engage. Now let's test it. We're in Townhouse, trying out every possible method. If it doesn't work right away, don't worry, it'll come out eventually. Like Commander Jack, who played the role of the head army, the pencil's graphite settles into place. We push everything back into the lock, insert the key, and it should work smoothly now. As for the screw, we should tighten it while we're at it. We've loosened it, and now it's time to secure it again. This will hold the cylinder in place. Now check again. If you insert the key like this and pull it out, it should be much easier. Insert, pull out, repeat. It's smooth now. The key comes out effortlessly, and everything feels silky smooth. Let's spread the word. This trick works well. If the cylinder gets stuck, just use a pencil to solve tissue. Share this tip with everyone, and thanks for watching. Friends, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Mike has recently developed 5 methods to open any padlock, especially the last one. It is impossible not to admire it. The first method is the simplest. First, find a screw and screw it to the bottom of the keyhole. Then use a crowbar to pry the screw out. At the same time, the lock components will be pulled out together. In this way, the lock will open naturally. The second method is more violent. Take out 2 wrenches and insert them into the lock beam at the same time, close to each other, and then move the 2 wrench handles together. It only takes a little force to open the lock. If you encounter a stronger lock that cannot be opened by manpower, you have to use the third method. Take out the spray gun, turn on the maximum firepower, and spray the lock body. How long will it take for it to automatically disintegrate? If we are outside and don't have any tools in our hands, the fourth method will come in handy. First, find a can in the trash can, cut out a small piece, then cut 2 holes in the middle, fold the 2 sides, then trim the end of the middle piece into an arc. Then insert the trimmed thin piece close to the lock beam towards the gap of the keyhole. At this time, you only need to pull it gently to open the lock. The fifth method is mainly for combination locks. First, pinch the lock body with your left hand and pull it down hard. With your right hand, turn the combination wheels one by one to find the tightest one, and keep turning it until you hear a click. Then repeat the previous step and wait until the last combination wheel returns to its position to open the lock. I hope you like our video. If you like, don't forget to hit subscribe button for future interesting videos. Thanks for watching.
How to open the suitcase if you forget the password? Today I will give you another tutorial. You must remember to save and forward this tutorial because I may be able to help you or your friends at any time. When you are in urgent need, now this lock, when the password is wrong, the switch cannot be pressed, and then the red button cannot be turned. How do we unlock it now? Where should we stare at? Look at this position, friends. Can you see it? Next to 3, next to 5, and next to 7, there is a position where the shaft is exposed. Let's stare at this place and put this lock, the box in a place with sufficient light, or turn on the light of your mobile phone to shine on it and look at it from directly above. Friends, what kind of small gap is it? Turn the number and stare at the side to see it. Okay, turn to the position of 0. Friends, can you see it? The color has changed. There is now a small gap at this position. See it or not? It is right next to this position. Turn it again to make it completely exposed. Okay, this small gap is completely exposed, and it is a 1. Use the same method to find all the 2 digits behind it. The position of 2, here is a small gap. Can you see it clearly, friends? It is right here. The color has changed. It is a small gap. Turn it again. Okay, 13. Follow the same method for this number. This is 1131. At this time, you can try the switch. Some locks can be opened now, but my lock still can't be opened. What should I do? Turn 5, 3, and 1 at the same time. Turn 5 at the same time. It is 686. Numbers greater than 10, friends. Add the numbers that add up to more than 10 and take the last digit. Understand, friends? Come on. 1, 3, and 1. I will now turn it to 686. Aim at this red button. My lock can now be opened. Hey everyone, I'm going to show you a super cool DIY life hack that will make your life a whole lot easier. I'm going to teach you how to unlock a lock without a key. Tricks to make emergencies repairs. Learn how to use common waste products in life and reuse them and turn waste into treasure. Configure different methods according to your own situation. I will not use a key to open the lock. I will film the method of unlocking the lock. I hope you like it. I will be very grateful for your comments and subscriptions to my channel. This will help more people understand my work. This is a simple method because you only uses simple tools and materials. After watching this video correctly, you will be able to handle it immediately. Always give priority to safety and security at work. Leave your suggestions in the comment box and subscribe to the channel so that you can always get interesting ideas every day. Your support is very valuable to us. I hope you like our video. If you like, don't forget to hit subscribe button for future interesting videos. Thanks for watching.
In this video, I will show you another way to open bag code. Please don't try what I'm about to show you on anyone's bag or you will be in trouble. Let's begin. There is a small gap next to this number. Do you see it? There is a small gap next to each number. Let's look down from this gap. There is a gap on each sender axis. Let's go and find it. Let's find this gap. Can you see it? Can you see it between 8 and 9? I'll put it back. Can you see there is a gap at the position of 8? This position I'm pointing to. Can you see it? I'll put it back. Come on everyone, take a look at the gap next to it, the gap below it. There is a big gap at the position of 9. Let's find this gap again. See, there is no gap at the position of 0. There is a gap between 0 and 1. Do you see it? Let's put the gap at the position of 1. Then let's find the third gap. Do you see 7 and 8? This 7. Do you see that when we turn to 7, there is no gap now? When we turn to 7, does a gap appear? The gap is at this position. Now let's find the 3 gaps and put them on the same line. The number now is 918. Let's try to see if we can open the lock. If it can't be opened, let's turn it again. Turn it at the same time. Turn it at the same time. Now turn to 029. Let's try again. It still can't be opened. Move it again. 130. Let's try again. It still can't be opened. Let's go to 241. Now try again. It still can't be opened. Let's go to 352. Let's try again. It still can't be opened. Dear ones, let's go again. 463. Let's try again. It's open. Now the password we retrieved is 463. See? As long as we find the 3 gaps, we move the password at the same time and the password will be retrieved. Some family members said that we knew the password in advance and that since you know the password in advance, you should be able to unlock it. Let's change it. Let's scramble the password again. Just scramble the password and press the red button again. Now we have set the password. Let's scramble it and find the 3 gaps. Come on family members, let's look at these 3 gaps again. See if there is a gap between 44 and 5 at the 5 position. See if there is a gap below this gap when it reaches 4. See if we put it to 5 and find the gap again. There is a gap next to it. From the gap, look at the center axis below and find it again. See if there is a gap at the 9 position. Put it here on 0 and find the gap again. See if there is a little gap at 77. The gap is at 8. Now it is 508. Let's try it and we can't open it. Then let's find it again. 619. Try it and we can't open 7. 20. Try again and it won't open. 831. Try again and it won't open. 942. Still can't open. 053. Come on. 053. Open it and the password was recovered. 053. Follow for more.
How to open the suitcase if you forget the password? Today I will give you another tutorial. You must remember to save and forward this tutorial because I may be able to help you or your friends at any time. When you are in urgent need, now this lock, when the password is wrong, the switch cannot be pressed and then the red button cannot be turned. How do we unlock it now? Where should we stare at? Look at this position, friends. Can you see it? Next to 3, next to 5, and next to 7, there is a position where the shaft is exposed. Let's stare at this place and put this lock, the box in a place with sufficient light, or turn on the light of your mobile phone to shine on it and look at it from directly above. Friends, what kind of small gap is it? Turn the number and stare at the side to see it. Okay, turn to the position of 0. Friends, can you see it? The color has changed. There is now a small gap at this position. See it or not? It is right next to this position. Turn it again to make it completely exposed. Okay, this small gap is completely exposed, and it is a 1. Use the same method to find all the 2 digits behind it. The position of 2, here is a small gap. Can you see it clearly, friends? It is right here. The color has changed. It is a small gap. Turn it again. Okay, 13. Follow the same method for this number. This is 1131. At this time, you can try the switch. Some locks can be opened now, but my lock still can't be opened. What should I do? Turn 5, 3, and 1 at the same time. Turn 5 at the same time. It is 686. Numbers greater than 10, friends. Add the numbers that add up to more than 10 and take the last digit. Understand, friends? Come on. 1, 3, and 1. I will now turn it to 686. Aim at this red button. My lock can now be opened.